was like, you know what? Streaming life is where it's at. So I'll watch my shows on my Netflix, all of that stuff. Now I see why there was nothing to watch this summer. I was like, oh my God, even my K-dramas. I was like, oh my God, there's nothing on TV. So I binged watch. I shouldn't have, but I did. Which one did, see, this is why you shouldn't binge shows too, because then you binge so many shows that you forget what shows you watched. But I binged, I'm currently finishing up Bon Appetit something. If you are a Girls' Generation fan, then you know what I'm talking about, with Yuna is her name. And this really popular male actor, he's playing the lead, he's playing the king. Cannot remember his name, but I watched him in quite a few dramas. I realized he's getting to the bag. I don't really like to watch, like, I typically watch romance K-dramas if I'm gonna watch a K-drama, right? But I said, you know what, let's give this a try. I like to support anything that, you know, from artists that I've loved listening to their music, and I want to see how their acting is, you know what I mean? So I said, let me watch this. Yuna's acting, I want to see how she performs in this role. So I start watching it, and I loved every second, every minute, every hour that passed by. It was such a good watch. I'm finishing the last 2 episodes, but by the time this goes up, I should be done with the drama completely, because I want to see if she actually ends up achieving her goal of making it back to the time she came from. So what pulled me in was the fact that it was a time travel romance, so that was cute. It's got loads of comedy in there, and it's about food. I was like, nah, y'all just putting me onto a bunch of new foods too. It's a lot of fusion foods, not just Korean foods, but like Korean foods with a twist, like cuisine fusion style. Like, cause she's basically a chef from the future, and she pretty much knows a lot of French, you know, like she's a chef. She knows a lot of French cuisines and stuff. So she gets thrown into the past, you know, we're gonna go to the Joseon era, and she meets this tyrant of a king, right? And she basically becomes his private chef, if you will. Not really private, but like the main head chef of the, what do they call it? The castle? It's not really a castle, but basically the big empire that they live on. I forgot what it's called, darn it. It is hilarious. And then also I'm like, I usually don't like watching dramas where it's romance but they mix in other parts of life, like it could be a medical drama with romance or a mystery thriller with romance, because I feel like they never really do a good job of balancing the multiple themes. It's always one outweighs the other. I would prefer, if you're gonna do one outweighs the other, that it's more romance involved, but it never ends up being that way. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that they did a very good job at pretty much balancing the chef part, like the cooking and the romance and the mystery and the thrilling aspect of it. Like, loads of stuff pretty much like packed into this one drama, and I really like that. So sorry, my hands are ashy, y'all. I'm like, let me get some lotion on while I'm talking to y'all, because I just put on some hand sanitizer and it dries my skin out. What else am I watching? So that's one drama that I'm watching. Highly recommend if you're looking. It's on Netflix, by the way. Netflix has caught on to the what do they call it, the Hallyu wave, and that just basically means like the movement of Korean, you know, influence into our culture. What else am I watching? Oh, so that's the most recent K-drama I'm watching. I have started a couple others, which I'll talk about in another day. But the other drama that I just finished last night is called Wayward. And it's so funny. It's not really a drama, actually. Sorry, it's not a K-drama, but rather an actual American TV show. It's really popular right now. If you're looking for something new to watch, I recommend it. It is triggering, so be mindful of that. Like, if you've experienced something of that nature or know somebody who's experienced that, it is triggering. It can be triggering. I've never experienced something like that, so that's also why I was kind of sucked into it. But I still found certain scenes, certain moments to be kind of like, wow, this is a tough watch, but I just somehow can't pull myself away from not watching it. But the show is called Wayward, and it's about these kids, and it's basically about the troubled teen industry. First of all, I didn't even know that was a thing called the troubled teen industry. All I know is when you're a really, 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 really tough teen to deal with, and you've done really bad things, you go away to juvenile detention centers. I've never known or heard anything about your kid is causing problems. Your kid is being a kid. Your kid is being a teenager. What most teenagers do. Acting up, acting out. There's just so much going on. Like, it's crazy to say, like, this is going to really show my age here, but, like, I haven't been a teenager in so long that I've forgotten what that feels like. Like, when you just feel like the world is just, like, so big, you know what I mean? Like, all those feelings that teenagers feel, right? That complicate things. So with that said, they basically take these troubled teens and they ship them off to these boarding schools, if you will. These boarding schools are not what they're signed or what parents think they are. Maybe some parents know and they just decide, I can't deal with you anymore, you got to get up out of my house, and they kick these kids out anyway. So it follows these two best friends, basically. One of them, which she pretty much got, like, kidnapped in her sleep out of her bed. That's, like, so traumatizing, and brought to the school. Her best friend learns about this and basically tries to go on a rescue mission to get her, because her parents are not going to do that. Like, literally, we only see the parents for, like, that first episode of her showing her troubled teen ways. All of a sudden, you don't see the family anymore. I'm curious to see where they take the show, but I'm not at the same time, because it was such a triggering watch that I'm like, I don't know if I'd watch a second season. The first season was very, very impactful. It was very interesting to watch. A lot of new faces that I haven't seen in the acting world. A very familiar face is what pulled me in. I want to say she played the mom in Hereditary. To learn that places like that still exist, especially here in America, in the States, is wild. Like, I never knew about that world. Like I said, they call it the troubled teen industry. So there's actual schools to this day and age, 2025, that do these sorts of things, and I'm like, what? So that's also what made me keep watching, because I started to pause halfway through when I watched certain episodes. I was like, oh god, this is hard. Like, it pulled me back into what it was like to be a teenager, and I was like, I could not endure this kind of mental warfare, mental abuse. Like, I could see why it drives teenagers to do certain things to themselves, you know what I mean? Like, it's an interesting watch. So if you can stomach certain things, like, it doesn't have a lot of gore or anything like that, no blood, no gross things, not of that nature. It's just more so like I definitely say it's definitely a mental show for sure. So that's the part that I'm referring to, like, that will, you know, be triggering for some. But I give the show an 8.5 out of 10. I think that's what it is. It's a very psychological show, thrilling aspects in there, and that's what pulls me in, because I do like psychological thrillers. I like a lot of things. Psychological thrillers, romance, definitely dark TV shows. I like a lot of those things. So it definitely pulled me in. The ending had me pissed. I was like, no way. I'm somebody that, even though I like a psychological thriller and I like dark shows from time to time, I still like a happy ending. So to see how it played out, I was like, I'm not coming for a season 2. I'm sorry. Unless you're gonna put an actor in there that I love their work, you will not be seeing me for season 2. But it's that good of a show. Like, it's one of those shows, kind of like one of those characters that you never forget. Like, there's always that one character that you always associate them to their role, and you're pissed if you see them. Like, some actors talk about that, like how people come up to them and like treat them like it really triggers you psychologically. So I'm like, that's what that show left me with. I'm like pissed at a lot of the decisions that a lot of the characters made. I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch any more of this. That was a nice little sip and chat with y'all in the car. Now we're gonna actually get into running around and ripping and running these streets for the day. But yeah, that's it for my little yap sesh. I'm gonna go window shopping pretty much, because I do want to look at some new skincare, body products. I will leave with some nails because it is spooky season, y'all. It's Vlogtober. I found these 2 cute sets of Halloween festive themed nails, so I definitely want to wear those. But I do want to get another pair that's like cute for just fall and stuff. If I do see another pair of like cute Halloween themed nails, I might grab them. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely want to go browse around. So we're going to Ulta Beauty next. Tennis bubble to the left of me that I forgot that they do tennis lessons. I don't know if y'all can see, but I'm hearing the sounds and I'm like, they must have the machines that shoot the ball out. It also feels nice to be out here when nobody is out. Even the geese aren't out here, which is wonderful, because where I'm seated and I'm sitting, it's usually frequented by a lot of geese. And they just literally, the warbirds, like literally, they protect their territory. They haven't cut around the bushes though yet. So it's looking a little bit crazy over here. I never have walked down where you guys just saw me. I was just down there by kind of like the beach or the shoreline. I never really walked down there before. I forgot how like calm, quiet, therapeutic it is to be at Barnes and Nobles. Like that's the first time in a long time that I found a book and sat down to read while I was in there. I'm definitely gonna go back. So I didn't end up getting the book that I was reading, but I really wanted to see what all the hype was about this book called Atomic Habits. It is a very good read. I read the first 10 pages while I was sitting in there, and it is a very, very good read. It really showed me the importance of like really good storytelling, because at first, I wasn't believing the hype about the book itself based off of what people are saying online. I was like, okay, this is probably going to be another, personal development, self-help book, but I wonder how are they going to deliver like the actual self-help advice to the reader, because that can bore me. That's why I don't really go after like non-fiction books. I do like a good personal development book, but you kind of have to trick my mind into reading it. And I feel like the author of that book did a really great job of hooking me as a reader and selling me on the book. So I'm definitely going to go back and get that book. So, ever so often, because I have my back turned, you got to keep an eye on your surroundings, that kind of vibe, as my father would say. Got to keep an eye on your surroundings. And there's like a picnic table set up behind me too, so I don't want nobody just randomly popping up sitting behind me, you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, that book just really showed me the importance of really, really good storytelling. Oh, and there's a boat coming. I'll show you guys in a minute, because I don't think I would have read that book otherwise. I tried to read what I usually try to do when I'm looking for a new book or a new good read to start, especially at Barnes & Noble's, because I don't know, I prefer going to Barnes & Noble's, getting a fresh copy. You can see the train in the back too. That's the Hudson, the Metro North. I prefer to go to the Barnes & Noble's versus my library sometimes, because I'm like, if I don't want to feel pressured to read the book in a certain amount of time and I feel like the book is a good investment, I typically go to Barnes & Noble's instead of the library. If you're looking for a good read for the fall and you're looking to, be on a journey, because right now we are in the winter arc season. Everybody's on their winter arc wave. They're doing the 75 hard, soft, medium, whatever you want to call it. What else? are people doing right now? Yeah, just this is the season of rebranding. Everybody's like, you know, getting ready and set for the new year. Then I highly recommend that read. That's definitely something that I could see myself reading every now and then instead of doom scrolling in my free time.